We've got about a 100 gallons of tank cleaner mix in the sprayer. We've flushed these booms out. Tank cleaner has been sitting in the boom for a good 24 hours. To properly wash out a sprayer, it is a good half-day job, if not a full-day job, to properly wash one out. The chemical we've been spraying for burn down is a non-selective herbicide, so it don't care what's out there, it's gonna kill it. And even though it would be just a trace amount, it might not kill the wheat, but it could severely ding the yield, especially at an important time like heading, when it's in the reproductive stages. Can really be detrimental to yield. So we really take a lot of care and put a lot of effort into cleaning out the sprayer. Robert's gonna spray that out. We're gonna pull the strainers on the sprayer, go wash the strainers. I do not run tip strainers. In my opinion, if you make sure your strainers are good and clean, you shouldn't never have a problem with that. Knock on wood, through the years, we've been very lucky. We keep a good eye on our main strainers and hardly ever have any tips stopped up. And I probably just jinxed myself there. But Robert's gonna spray that water out. Then we'll fill up with some clean rinse water. And we'll run that through the sprayer and we should be good to go. Filling the water trailer up there, yes, we just use a garden hose to fill the trailer up. Normally what we do is we'll get the trailer out the day before, and it takes a fairly good while to fill up, so we just hook it up and go about our day and check on it periodically. But it'll normally, about 3 or 4 hours, we've got really good pressure here at the shop, so it don't take as long as you would think for. Robert's up there, he's kind of learning the sprayer a little bit. Doing stuff like this is a good way for him to learn it. He's been working the booms up and down for me and unfolding them and learning the GPS screen. You see the tips run out there, means she's out of water. So right now, being she's out of water, is a good time to dump the strainers and clean the strainers. I don't think I got a big enough set. With a good O-ring, it ain't gotta be just tight. I won't never remember where that's at. Yeah. And that's why we do what we do. Because even though that might not kill the wheat, that could be severely detrimental to the yield, especially in a delicate stage like this at heading. Did you watch Eric's video where he's plumbing the starter fertilizer trailer?
Not yet.
There's one part where he's plumbing it up, and I swear he has the world's smallest set of channel locks on one side on the fitting, and he's got the world's large. He has a tiny set and a large set on one side of the fitting. Boy, ain't got no sense.
You think with him making all them big yields, he'd be able to afford a big pair of channel locks for both sides?
It tickled the crap out of me. Man, I don't know about this darn weight. I don't think there's gonna be no 90 bushel averages this year. And I don't know, I always think my weight ain't gonna make crap. Sometimes it surprises me, sometimes my suspicions are right. You can always tell if we've had a wet spring, because you can see them yeller flyers start popping up through the weight. Normally, I mean, a good year, that zidua will hold everything, but on a wet year, it's tough for the zidua to hold everything. Well, like John Wayne and the Cowboys said, we're burning daylight. And the little boy wakes up and he says, "What daylight?" Well, that's what we're doing today. I was laying in bed tonight, and it was, I don't know, I woke up about 3:30. And I was thinking about all the stuff I had to do. And I tried to lay there till 4, and finally I just said crap on it. I'm getting up, getting started. So I told myself, if you're that worried about it, you might as well get your butt up and let's go get it done. So that's what we're doing. Good morning, Blue. We're gonna crank my boy Blue here and let the air be pumping up. We're gonna run a little fungicide on some wheat. Let the air be pumping up, and we'll go up here and we'll get the sprayer out. We're at the shop filling up. It's gonna be a 46-acre load. Mervis Ice, insecticide, boron, and master lock. Let's get it mixed up. I always like to write my recipe down somewhere where it's easy to remember on a full load. Well, we're riding back here to the back to spray the bottom. Our weight's looking a lot better since it's headed out. I wasn't too keen on it on the beginning, but it's kind of starting to look like something now. Only thing I don't like about it is it's even now, but it didn't head out uniformly. Is what I don't like about it. But looking pretty thick up through there. Looks like it's got some pretty decent sized heads on it. Maybe we'll make some weight. I don't know. I'm peculiar on weight. I don't know why I took such an interest in weight. I absolutely love growing weight. I hate planting double crop beans, but I absolutely love growing and harvesting weight. Here's my weight down in the bottom, which we're on the upper end. It don't look that good down there on the lower end, but I'm glad I went on and let it get headed out a little more before I decided to run this. I mean, you're trying to protect the head, so it makes sense to let the head get out good. Well, that's all she wrote for Fungicide 23. We got that last 80 acres of wheat finished up there, and moving on to the next project. Gonna move the frog jump and finish ripping that high yield plot. I guess you would call it a high yield large scale plot. 25 acres our standard practices versus 50 acres, comparing Eric's practices to ours. See if we can bump our yields a little bit. 8 o'clock. So pretty good spray 80 acres doing my own mixing, coming back to the shop to refill, and done pretty good, I think. Sprayer said we was averaging 112 acres an hour. Now that ain't counting fill-up times in there. Fill-up times really kill you when you by yourself and you got to mix your own loads. All right, this is Pioneer 25R49 right here that we're looking at. Oh, you know, decent looking weight. I've definitely had better looking, but one thing I want to show you is, look, here's your main tiller. You see what a head it put on? Here's another main tiller. But the little secondary, here's your secondary tillers. It didn't make near the, let's take a look at it. Alright, there's your main tiller on the right, and there's one of your secondary tillers. You know, quite a bit of difference in those two. That tells me something happened at some point on this wheat that cut yield back. That one's got 14. Let's see what this one's got. They've been these main tillers have been about 16. $18. So something happened while we was setting them secondary tillers, but it's come on and filled them drill tracks in. It's looking better. Robert got a little wide with the drill right here, and that's a sprayer track. But I don't know. I'm starting to gain some faith back in my wheat now. It's definitely looking better since it's headed out. Hopefully here in about a month we're going to be harvesting amber waves of grain. Like I said, all my wheat isn't perfect. I got some in some low ground that looks like crap, and then I got some where we experimented with that wheat behind wheat. You know, we had wheat and double crop beans there last year and turned back around and drilled wheat again, kind of doing some experimentation with that. I think we will probably do it again in the future, but if we do it, we will till the ground up, we'll work the ground up, incorporate some of that residue back into the soil, level the seed bed up, where the ground will warm up a little more. I'll show you that wheat in a minute. I mean, the worst thing about it is it really ain't that bad when you get off and look at it. It's just the fact that it's bad uneven. You know, you had places come up late and stuff like that, but uniformity is key on this weight. The more uniform you can have that weight, the better your yield should be. That pretty well goes for any crop. The more uniform you can have it, the better. Y'all see that dark stretch right there? That's where Robert ran out of seed, and we didn't want to open a whole 40 bushel bulk bag of seed, because we had some people that was wanting to buy a little seed from us. He just went and got like 10 50-pound bags of VNS wheat from the co-op just to finish this field up. You can see that strip right there. I'm anxious to get in it and see what the yield is on it. This is the wheat behind wheat, which to hear everybody talk is a big no-no. You know me, I like to try crazy crap. There it is. Again, you can see the main stem. You can see the smaller wheat there. I don't know what's gonna make it. You know, it made high 80s last year. I figure 70s maybe. The flat will kill it. It always does. That's why we can't, I ain't gonna say we can't, but the stars have got to align for Robert and I to have 100 bushel averages on our farm, because you've got 40 acres that's a perfect weight for them. And then you fall off in that flat that's 10 acres and it's nothing but a mud hole. And that's the reason we very seldom have 100 bushel wheat yields on our farm, on a whole farm average, because I mean, we was making 100 till we got down there in the flat, and then you take 10 acres making 60, it doesn't take long to pull your 100 bushel average down. It takes a whole lot more good crop to pull an average up than it does a bad crop to pull an average down. You can tell I got a path war in it, and I guess that's my hobby's walking wheat. And I'm never satisfied with it. You can ask Robert, that's all I've done all winter is gripe about this weight. He's like, I don't know why you grow weight. All you do is fuss about it all winter long. You know, I've took y'all through a whole year's worth of weight, and if you're wanting to start growing weight, maybe I'd say it's something that would help you. All I can do is just tell you what we've done on our farm to pull up our weight averages over the years. Number one, fertility. Number two, a fall burn down and pre-emerge. And number three, a good fungicide program is absolutely critical. And a good stand. And I'm fine with you planting wheat late, as long as you know you can get a good stand. But every year that we've planted wheat late in less than ideal soil conditions, it's always bit Robert and I in the butt. So that's why we always try to get our wheat planted around the 15th of October. Because we normally got a 2-week window in there where we're transitioning from corn harvest to soybean harvest. It just works super well for us to get our wheat in. And that's what we do. If I could have my wheat planted any day, it'd be Halloween. If I had my choice to plant wheat, it would be Halloween day. All 210 acres of it. Well, the price of wheat's going down, boys, so I doubt we have near as much wheat next year. We may, this 210 acres of wheat kind of, when you're traveling over it as much as we are, it's kind of for the birds. We might not have about 100 acres of wheat next year. That will absolutely tickle the crap out of Robert. He hates wheat. But in review, we drilled this wheat last fall. 150 pounds to an acre was about the rate we ran. Everybody always wants to know pounds, but I like to go by population more than I do pounds, because you can have a drastic difference in seed sizes on weight. You know, 1.2 to 1.5 million is early as Robert and I drill ours. We don't have to worry about it tillering out. So everybody always asks our seeding rate. That's our seeding rate, about 150 pounds an acre. That's 2.5 bushel. And that's with us drilling early. Later planting wheat, we stepped it up to 3 bushel an acre. We come back early February with a nitrogen application, a fertilizer application. We varied that rate anywhere from 10 to 15 gallons an acre. I will say that next year we're going to be closer towards that 15 gallon an acre rate. I like that a lot better. What I saw, that wheat has looked better all year long. We run 28004. I probably won't be running it again next year. I've never been happy with our weight when I've run 28004. Everybody else just absolutely raves about how great 28004 is on weight. I absolutely hate it. Agro Liquids, well, you ran it last year. They got 2 products called, one is Access and one is Calibrate. And we ran that on our weight last year and I absolutely loved it. And I wish that's what we done this year. The Access has got sulfur in it, and the Calibrate has got potash and sulfur in it. And I think that's one reason we thought we saw a little yield bump, was our soils are always low on potash. But we're working to fix that problem. In the meantime, we can use products like that Calibrate to help us out. And that ain't a plug for them. I like the product. Something new we done this year, we done a tissue analysis. We pulled one on each farm. The worst one we had was back here behind the church, which is always our #1 wheat yielder. That's got the Pioneer wheat on it I showed you, but it was short on zinc, copper, and boron. So we put all them out there on it. Had one farm that was just short on copper and boron, and all the others was just short on boron. We addressed that. We run a Palisade application on the earlier wheat, trying to shorten it up some so it didn't produce as much straw. And we still got a ton of straw out there, guys. That old wheat's thick. And in that Palisade application, we ran 2 ounces of Pre-Axor and 2 ounces of Topaz, both fungicides, trying to keep this wheat healthy through its entire life, trying to not let it suffer at all. We had an insecticide in that application. And after we done that, we put 2 more shots of nitrogen on it. We done a 3-shot nitrogen program this year. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about this 3-shot application. I imagine we're going back to a 2-shot application. It's not that I don't believe in the 3-shot application, but man, I'm just sick of making trips over this wheat. And that brings us to present day. We run our Maravus Ace fungicide, we ran a low rate of boron. The boron was on the high end of low, so we went on and put a boron application in there. Everything else had evened out. We was on the potash. We was on the, like I said, the high end of low, right there on the borderline of sufficient. So that's where we was on that, but the tissue samples did look a lot better, which we had been having better weather at that point. I think this weather's got affects a lot of what shows up in these tissue samples. We've just tried to feed this crop along as we went. Just anything that this wheat desired, we tried to make it readily available for it. I'm kind of wound up, still hyped up on Mountain Dew. So kind of winding down a little bit and catching my second wind here. We're gonna crank old Blue, put her back in the shop. Thank you for watching, and I'll try to make a better video next time.